Hey guys, welcome back. It's your private designer, Jimmylee. Today we're going to be talking about a fun thing, cap sleeves. How do we get to cover this a little bit? I'm going to teach you. And at the end of the segment, I'm going to give you one of the Jimmylee suggestions. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Okay guys, today we're talking about cap sleeves. You can do long sleeves, but I'm going to talk about cap sleeves. So what cap sleeves means is when you got a dress and you love it, not everything comes with sleeves. I particularly only design about 10 to 12% of my dresses with sleeves, sometimes less, depending on the season. So what we do is we do a thing called cap sleeves. Just a little chiffon, a little satin, silk, whatever you like. This is a little chiffon. I'm just going to show you something. Now, she loved this dress, but she said, I don't like this part of my arm. So what we're going to do is just do a little cap sleeve. So that will go inside there. And what they do is we sew that inside, and then you create a complete little sleeve. So you can do a cap sleeve, just like that. So in other words, that it is covering the part that you don't like. Now the cool part is, what happens if you say, Jimmy, I want long sleeves? And don't forget, when you do a cap sleeve, you have this material. You can always stretch it down so it covers a little bit more. But say you wanted long sleeves. Because this has straps, we could do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to just connect any fabric. This is a see-through because I want you to have a little sexiness to you. And that creates the whole sleeve. I don't like a big flare sleeve. They call it bell, but if you like it, cool. But this segment is supposed to teach you how to do a cap sleeve, or how to tell your tailor how to do a cap sleeve. It's really cool. Now, don't be afraid to grab any fabric. Now, this is just leftover fabric. And say that I wanted to add a little contrast to this dress. Don't be afraid to grab anything that you have at home if you don't have the matching material, and you can do the exact same thing. We're just creating a little sleeve that goes off, and I like it to have a little flow, a little bend, just like that. Again, if you're somebody that wanted a whole sleeve, say you wanted that whole dramatic bell sleeve, that's easy. It has to have a strap. If it doesn't have a strap, then your tailor / designer just needs to create a strap to give it the support, and then you could do it. Now I'm going to teach you a little something that's really cool. A lot of times you don't like the back of your dress because it's open. This particular dress has an open back. So say you don't like it. Well, if I'm creating a sleeve that is a cap sleeve, I'm going to have this little flow back here. So this is kind of cool. So what this does is this gives you what we call it, a horse's train. So now in the back of a horse, you always see this beautiful little mane. Well, I want you to have a little mane. So you could do a little longer one like this. You can make it come up like that. So all it is, it's the extra material that you have left over for making the cap sleeves. Because when you make it, we do one arm, we swipe it, we do the other arm. And sometimes you have that left. So say that you want less back. Then you're going to turn around and you're just going to lift it so it's a little bit tighter. And then you're going to find yourself with a little less back. Now, when it's that open in the bottom, there's a lot of things you could do. You can add a little material to cover that. If it was me and you're looking for coverage, that wouldn't have been the right dress for me if it was completely open. So what a cap sleeve does, it just hides what you want. The cool part about it is you can make it detachable. So you can make it so it has a hook and eye on both sides, so you can attach it at any time. And I'll teach you a little trick. All dresses usually come between 54 and 58 inches long. Usually made for a 5'10" person. So if you're 5'6", 5'4", 5 feet, whatever it is, and you have a little extra material, what I do is I just take it from the bottom. So when I'm hemming it, I save that fabric, and that would become my fancy cap sleeve. And usually the fabric from the bottom has some stiffness to it. A lot of our dresses, we call it horsehair. And that is thick, thick threads that go in it to make the dress go away. But when you're doing it for sleeves, it's cool because it goes away from your bicep, but still covers it. So it's my little trick that I do. So this is called a cap sleeve. Again, if you wanted a complete sleeve, look how cute that would look. Just long. And all they need to do is attach it. Now, if you like one of these people that like the bell sleeve, do the little bell sleeve. But if you're trying to make your bicep look thinner, then you want it more tapered. Remember that? The tight jeans make us feel better. It also makes us look better. So what I like is a tapered sleeve. If you want a little opening, sometimes at the bottom of the sleeve or this, I can have a little opening. And the little opening like this gives you a little flair. Some people love that. It's very 1930s. And the last thing I'm going to show you is if you're doing a contrasting color. So this is a black dress, and you just want to give it some wow. A satin fabric is the fabric you want to do to give you a little bit more wow. So what I do is I like a hanging sleeve. So that means the sleeve is sewn in, but it's like a handkerchief. So this handkerchief comes down and it creates a flare of your arm. So in other words, it's like a continuous from your wrist to your elbow to the top. It doesn't show an imperfection of having a little chubby bicep or something. Now, if you say to me, when you come in my store, and you're like, I'm gonna change this and I'm gonna make it better by the time the wedding's happening, baby, don't do that. Make the cap sleeve, the bell sleeve, the handkerchief sleeve for you today, not until when you lose weight. Never do that. It's my whole life. I buy pants that are 1 or 2 sizes smaller because I'm like, I'm gonna get there. And they're still in my closet. Fashion does change. I know everybody says it comes back, but me and you know there's only forward to look at, not backwards. I don't mind vintage. I actually obsess with vintage because that's what I specialize in. But I don't like things that are 5 years old or 8 years old. No, I don't like that. So I like a little handkerchief sleeve like that. I like it when this particular sleeve has a little beading on it. So it's kind of cool and it drapes down. Again, this would be nothing to create a little hose sleeve if you like. And what I had done in the past, which is really cool, is that when you have it all together, you're gonna see that you have like a split. So you can use this split in your arm and just tack it. So in other words, you would have a sleeve with 2 tacks. 1 tack here and maybe 1 down here. So that means it's open, but yet you're covered. This is all the stuff that I have learned throughout all my years by listening. God knows I can talk. You guys can see that. I love to talk. I love to even listen to myself talk. But I listen. And that's what makes me a better designer. When I worked with Giovanni, when I worked with everybody, when I've sat in the audience and I'm watching Louis Vuitton front row, I paid attention. Because I wanted to do what they did and make it better or make it unique to Jimmylee. So when I show it, you feel like a one of a kind. Remember what I always say to you guys, you all are a queen and a king inside your house. And when you walk out, you got to prove it. That's either by dressing well, putting yourself together well, by having knowledge that you know that you are special. I say this every segment because it's important that you know that. That it's not just fashion tips, it's self-love tips. It's why I'm good at what I do, is because I'm always trying to please me. And if I'm trying to please me, I can kind of think like you. And you know what the coolest thing is? A long, long time ago, when I was a young person, I was the district manager of a clothing store. And a boss came in my store and walked through me, and he did a choo-choo train. And when you do a choo-choo train, we'd walk around the whole store, and I would have to have like my staff behind me, and I'll be like, fix that, and he would watch me. And he turned around and he goes, you saw all those little imperfections. Why? And I said, because I'm not thinking like Jimmylee. I'm thinking like everybody. What does everybody see? Not just what I see. So that's what made me a good designer. Same thing with the sleeve. You know, for me, I would be fine showing my biceps. But other people are not. So I have to think with them, but not for them. So we're thinking together to help us get through this crazy times that we have gone through in the last year and a half. So a lot of the gyms have been closed, a lot of things have been going on. You haven't been able to be yourself. So I'm trying to make you feel better. Trying to hide a little bit, tuck a little bit. As we say, little butt pad, little duct tape, a little bit. Every segment is a little bit about how to make us feel our best during this crazy time. Now, it's not easy every day, and it sure the hell isn't easy every second. But when you have yourself to depend on, when you know that you can get up, and if you get out of bed, it's a good day. If the sun is shining, it's a good day. If the sun isn't, it's still a good day because you're going to make it good. So, cap sleeve, guys. You're going to use fabric from anywhere you want. Satin's my favorite, but of course I love me a little see-through. So when you turn around and you have anything in the chiffon or anything that comes through that you can see a little bit, don't think you're going to see imperfections. The most imperfections you're going to see is only through your eyes. Other people can't see it. And remember, guys, length is dependent on you. I like it up to here. I like just a cap sleeve. It covers enough. Most of you women have, and men, have skinny forearms. It's usually this part that you want to hide, a little bit of the shoulder. So it also hides what I call the bra line. Like if you have bigger boobs and you wore a heavy double D bra and it literally indented you, believe me, I've seen it. I feel your pain. This will cover that because you start from that section all the way to your bicep. Well, I love you. In the very end, we're going to talk about my little suggestion about this. Remember, guys, subscribe. We're family. We can only grow together if we stick together. And please share it with your friends. And I love you. And give me some comments. I'd love to know your opinion on everything that we're doing. So stay tuned to my suggestion in the end. Okay, beautiful. Now my tip of the day is, what are we going to do when it's a little bit too low for you? Well, I'm going to show you that. So what I just did is I created a little panel just by tacking it. And it's going to be the same fabric as we use for the sleeves. Come on, guys. So now you have this coming down, not just where the V is. Make it come up. Come to the sleeve. So it looks Versace-like. So designing is all up to your eye, and hopefully your tailor's eye. And this little part, if you use a satin, you can literally drape it like this. So if I wanted to use a satin base, I can create what they call a little ocean. So it would be the matching fabric if I was going to do anything wavy with a satin. So it would have been the black, but the same, and you can do just a panel to cover the strong V-neck. So my tip of the day is, when you find a dress, please don't look for it to be whole. I don't like when somebody comes up and they're like, I want pink, this, long sleeve, tapered, baby, that ain't happening. So why don't we find that looks good on us, and then find somebody like me, a designer, a tailor, that could turn around and adjust it to your body. To me, that makes the most sense. So the tip of the day is, if you have something too low, we're going to use the same material that you use for the sleeve to cover your V. Guys, I love you. Stay tuned. We have so much more to talk about. We're going to be talking about 7 pounds, 7 days, how to lose weight in 7 days. Me and you are going to go on some little diet together down the road. Stay tuned. I love you. And have a fabulous, fabulous day.